people watching. Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, December 6th, 2022 Board of Supervisors meeting. At this time, we're going to call to order for the closed session. If the clerk could please read out that item.
Item number 1, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with county designated labor negotiators Judy Hawkins, Shay Johnson, and Nick Marvin regarding the following employee organizations: Sheriff's Management Union, SMU, Calaveras County Public Safety Employees Association, CCPSCA, Deputy Sheriff's Association, DSA, Calaveras Management Union, Calaveras Supervisors Union, Service Employees International Union, SEIU Local 1021, SEIU Local 2015, unrepresented employees.
At this time, is there any public comment? Seeing none in the room, I'll switch to Zoom. Are there any
There
online?
is none.
Okay, with that, we'll convene into a closed session and see everyone at 9 o'clock. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the December 6th, 2022 Board of Supervisors meeting. If you could please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So earlier this morning, we were in closed session, and at this time, I'll have the clerk read out.
Closed session, item number 1, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with county designated labor negotiators Judy Hawkins, Shay Johnson, and Nick Marvin regarding the following employee organizations: Sheriff's Management Union, SMU, Calaveras County Public Safety Employees Association, CCP, SEA, Deputy Sheriff's Association, DSA, Calaveras Management Union, Calaveras Supervisors Union, and Service Employees International Union, SEIU, Local 1021, SEIU Local 2015, unrepresented employees. Board action, there was no reportable action taken.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move on to staff announcements. Are there any staff announcements? Okay. Not seeing any in the room. Are there anyone online?
No, there is not.
Okay. Next, we will be moving on to recognitions and acknowledgements. If the clerk could please read out item number 2.
Item number 2 is a proclamation, adopt a proclamation congratulating Barbara Sullivan on her retirement.
And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Vice Chair Toffenali.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to do a Marita here. Barbara, come on up to the podium.
Raise your right hand.
I'm gonna come down here and read it because I know Marita always does. And
Yeah.
it's over here so you can hear it. This is a proclamation congratulating Barbara Sullivan on the occasion of her retirement as treasurer, tax collector of the Calaveras County. And by the way, Barbara, I will be in your office later after the meeting. I've got to pay my taxes. So. Whereas Barbara Sullivan began her public service in Calaveras County in May of 2022 in the Calaveras County Auditor's Office, transferring to the Treasurer Tax Collector's Office in July of 2006. And whereas Barbara Sullivan took office as the elected Treasurer Tax Collector effective January 3rd, 2011. I remember that. Did I swear you in that day? Whereas Barbara Sullivan has rendered distinguished service to the county for 20 years, demonstrating the highest standards of integrity and professionalism, applying her expertise and sound judgment to the policies and laws governing the responsibilities of the Treasurer Tax Collector. That's very nice. Good job. And whereas Barbara Sullivan's broad professional background includes banking, agriculture, transportation, and the wine industry's collections, where she became the first credit and collections manager for the wine group and is credited with forming the Northern California chapter of credit and collection managers for wine distribution throughout the United States. Wow, pretty awesome. Where she was often referred to as, what were you referred to as? The Velvet Hammer. And whereas Barbara Sullivan's perspective and thoughtful attention to safety has brought her staff peace of mind as a driving force for the new safety features in her office. Whereas Barbara Sullivan has led the Treasurer Tax Collector's Office through many challenges, and she has, over the years, she has, and changes and developments, always looking for ways to improve processes for internal efficiencies as well as citizen services. And whereas Barbara Sullivan has proven herself to be a valuable asset as a member of the Cannabis Committee for the CAC-TTC, and recently led a new treasurer tax collectors training at the 2022 CAC-TTC Education Conference. Wow, CAC-TTC. Okay. Can you tell us what that is?
California Association of County Treasurer Tax.
All right.
It's a mouth.
It's a mouth. It is. Whereas Barbara Sullivan has been characterized by her staff and colleagues as hardworking, dedicated, honest, supportive, a wealth of knowledge, always keeping a positive attitude, who leads by exemplary example, and has shown the utmost dedication by always being available to her staff, colleagues, and the public. And whereas after retirement, Barbara Sullivan plans on traveling the United States and abroad and spending time with family and friends. So where's the first place you're going? Portugal. Well, that's not traveling the United States. That's abroad. So we should have said abroad first and then the United States. Okay, all right. So I'm going to call for public comment. I'm going to ask for board comments. Board comments.
Ms. Sullivan, the only perk we got as supervisors was you reminding us that our taxes were due. Is this something that you're going to be telling our next treasurer?
Most definitely. Yeah.
And I just want to know, are you going to notify me from wherever you are that my taxes are due?
Yes, forever the December 10th, April 10th. Great. So.
Okay.
yes, I'll think of it.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. I appreciate that. It's been really a pleasure working with you, Barbara, over the years.
Are there any other board comments? Staff? Public comments. Oh, Ben, I'm sorry.
Just on that email to Marita, you can do an auto send. You can predate that. So for the next 5 years, even if you're busy, that email can go out as a reminder to Miss Callaway.
Any public comments? Judy.
No, I just want to thank you, Barbara. You have been a pleasure to work with over my 7 years here. It was crazy in the beginning, 7 years ago with the fire, and you have been an absolute pleasure. to work with. Yeah, look at the Azores and stuff.
We've had some great adventures, some assessment district adventures and bonds and all sorts of stuff. But throughout that, I would consider that our friendship is our greatest thing that we've done.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
I just want to thank you for putting up with me. When we've discussed sticky issues, we've always been able to resolve them easily. And I really appreciate all the work you've put in for the county and also to help train your staff so that things run really smoothly. And I'm going to miss you.
Same here. It's been a pleasure. That was. Yeah.
Allison Allen, Delaware County Taxpayer Association. We really appreciate the work you've done. And it's kind of interesting that a taxpayer group would be supporting. But the most important thing in government is honesty and fairness. And you've shown that. And taxpayers will really appreciate your service. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Gary,
Any public comments online?
are there any public comments online?
There's nobody online. that would like to comment.
So move this item.
Second.
A motion by Marita, a second by Amanda. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Certainly hope none. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors acknowledges Barbara Sullivan for her dedication and exemplary service to the County of Calaveras. And be it further resolved that the Board of Supervisors commends Barbara Sullivan for her achievements in the position of Treasurer Tax Collector and congratulates Barbara on the occasion of her retirement. Passed and adopted by the Board of Supervisors of the County of Calaveras, State of California, the 6th day of December. Barbara, would that get for you? Can you please open it and read it?
Sure. I had to read it. Good thing I brought my glasses. Oh, what? Oh. Ooh. Bill Legend has officially retired 2023. Not my problem anymore. That's so cool. Very nice. Thank you. Very nice. It's hard to believe it won't be my problem anymore. 'Cause it still will be. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Oh, okay.
Next we have up is item number 3 under recognition and acknowledgement. If the clerk could please read out.
Item number 3 is a proclamation to adopt a proclamation congratulating Leslie Davis on her retirement.
And I'm going to turn it over to Supervisor Callaway.
Encounters over the years. Usually she starts to say something and I say no. Starts to say something, no. So it's sort of a running dialogue between Leslie and I. Well, come stand over here near me. So this is the first time and only time I'm saying yes. All right. Whereas Leslie Davis began her public service in Calaveras in April 2000 in the Calaveras County, Calaveras County, we know it's the county.
Thank you.
And she started in the assessor's office. I'm making grammatical changes as I read this. Leslie served in the Calaveras County, in case you all don't know, Calaveras is a county, assessor's office for 22 years. With service as an appraiser, assessment standards analyst, assistant assessor, acting assessor, and elected assessor effective January 3, 2011. She served as a member of the California Assessors I'm gonna really screw that one up. Association for 19 years, took the position as CAA president in 2019. She served as a member of the Northern California Assessors Associate. Can I just say AA? Okay. Leslie's earned the admiration and respect of her colleagues across the state with her dedication, enthusiasm, professionalism, and you're not going to believe it, but her sense of humor. She does have one. I know the board is, we're kind of,
I try to.
we
avoid it
don't
with
see
you.
that. Yeah, we know this. She has been committed and dedicated public servant and has worked tirelessly and cooperatively, ensuring fair and equitable assessments for every property in Calaveras County. She was presented with the Excellence in Public Service Award in 2013. During her tenure, she's trained every new staff member with a particular emphasis on following the revenue and taxation code to the letter. Not only did she make them do it, former supervisor Terry Bailey and I had to go to a revenue and taxation code class because the board served as the local board of, we did that until the assessor finally decided we need a special group to hear the appeals because the board of supervisors can't do it. And I went to a class so I could do it, really. And I had to pay for it myself. Let's see, sorry about that. I digress, truly sorry. She is a devoted member of Fred's of the Calaveras County Fair and Jumping Frog Jubilee from 2010 to 2017. She's well known for her detailed answers to questions, starting with, sit back, pour your a favorite beverage, and then she goes into a long dissertation of which we all learn from. You do it to us, you do it to the public. I love it. Despite occasionally losing frog jump to county council.
You're gonna correct that error.
Yeah.
Corrected every other one.
She has a brilliant mind and is one of the state's foremost experts in the field of property tax assessment. Whereas we all anticipate she will write the great American novel when she retires. Sounds familiar, huh? So I'm going to ask for a motion from the board first. Is there any public comment? The fact that some of you, I know, have concerns about how the properties assessed. Too bad. Are there any comments from the board?
Stopper.
I'll save my comment.
Okay.
You save your comment?
I'll save my comment for a moment.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna save his comment.
For a moment.
Toponelli.
I have a comment.
Yes. Supervisor.
Thank you, Leslie, for all the years of service. You you were working for Randy and you assumed the job. I want to thank you for all the dedicated work you've done. And always have an answer. If we have constituents that have questions from us and we ask you, you always have a question, you always have an answer for them. And it's a good answer, it's a correct answer. And even when you talk to them, even though they don't like it and you don't like telling them, because if you know they're not going to like it, you still tell them exactly like it is. Very good. Thank you for that. And for all the years we've worked together.
I'd like to mirror Mr. Toffenelli's words. And for being clear, when I've gone in and asked questions, you've been very clear to me, how I'm wrong, why I'm wrong. But, you know, sometimes, the hard truth is the way to portray it, Leslie. And we knew we could always, what your hand was, we got to see it. So thank you.
Any comments online?
Are there any Zoom comments online? I know, I gotta speak it into the mic really fast.
There is no Zoom comments.
Okay, we'll go back to the room. Oh, I think I gave him an extra 4 minutes last time, Marita.
We can deduct.
Al Segala, County Taxpayer Association, also a member of the Assessors Appeals Board. And as such, I got a chance to really appreciate Leslie. She's a hard worker, honest and fair. What more could you ask for a public official? Thank you, Leslie.
So I am going to miss you keeping me on my toes. And in the beginning, when I would get the very detailed emails with all the history, I tried to match and give you very detailed, long answers. And have you noticed over the last 7 years, they've gotten shorter, shorter, and shorter, and now they're about 3 words. So, but mine. But I appreciate you have always, in your emails, in asking questions, you have also given me the historic why you're asking the answers, how it was handled in the past, and how am I going to handle it now? So, and in the very beginning, when I first started, I'd only been here about a week. When I first met you, you said, I'm not sure I'm going to like you. It depends on if you get my staff raises. So we're still working on that. We're working on it. So I am going to miss you. Like I said, you keep me on my toes, and it's been a pleasure working with you. And congratulations on your retirement.
Yeah, I did. He knows how to count to 3. Oh, no, we don't have to count to 3 anymore. He only needs to count to 1. You have a CEO. Go ahead.
Hi, Stan Moore from IT. Leslie, I want to thank you for the time that I've had to work with you. I came here 8 years ago. You're one of the ones that helped to educate me on what it was going to be like working in government, working in Calaveras County, the things that I should be doing to be successful, not just in working with you, but working with the county. You've always been, if this is a continuing theme from the other people who've spoken, you've always been very honest, very open. You told me things I like to hear. You told me things that I didn't like to hear, but you've helped me in my journey all the way. And you have been a great partner of IT all along. We've laughed together. There have been times where I haven't laughed when I've been talking with you. But it's been overall. But it's been a wonderful relationship. You will be missed, and I have greatly enjoyed working with you. So thank you guys.
Leslie, you and I met when we were both in the assessor's office. And so I've worked with you in all of your various roles. The one thing I can say about her is she is extremely knowledgeable. And the one thing that I'm really concerned about, somebody mentioned writing a novel. I'm hoping you're going to write down all of that information you have, the historic knowledge of what's happened in the county and what boards have voted what in over the years. Because you can always count on Leslie having said, oh, but do you remember when? And then she would just recall everything that occurred. And some of that is not written down anywhere. So maybe you can be writing that.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure and congratulations.
Are there any other comments, either on Zoom or in the room? Okay, Marita?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Do you want to say anything before I take the vote, or wait till I take the vote and then you can say something? Let's take the vote and then you can say something. Got it. So that's smart. May I
Almost-
have may I have a motion, please, on this proclamation?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you,
Second.
Supervisor. Thank you, Supervisor. Now there.
Oh, wait.
What?
All in
What?
favor?
Oh, yeah.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Okay, turn it back over to Ms. Calloway.
Dang, it's hard being on this side of the podium. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors acknowledges Leslie Davis for her dedication, exemplary service to the County of Calaveras. Be it further resolved that the board commends Leslie for her achievements in the position as assessor and congratulates you on the occasion of your retirement. I modified that. It was passed and adopted by the Board of the County of Calaveras, State of California, in case you forgot what state we're in, the 6th day of December, 2022. Now, do you want to say something? All right, well, it depends. Yeah, could you put the timer on? Yes, it's a yes.
Madam Chair, honorable members of the board, my mother raised us on cliches. And one springs to mind as I listen to these comments, and it was, we stand on the shoulders of others. We stand on those who came before us, and for that, I appreciate all the information I got from Randy Metzger, my successor, and those who came before him, Bill Ratterman and Charlie Clark. I also stand on the shoulders of my team. They are the ones that make us look good. And so I really want to acknowledge their hard work, everything they are doing, and know that as I walk out the door, I am leaving the office in a very good position to hit the ground running and keep up the very good work. I appreciate your kind words, appreciate the sense of humor. Marita is correct. We've had a lot of no comments and arguments over the years, so it's absolutely hilarious and endearing to me that you would be standing here. Just want to close by saying public service is a privilege, and it's been a privilege and an honor to serve the voters and residents and property owners of Calaveras County for almost 23 years. You can't know how much I appreciate that and how much I appreciate the collaboration that we've all had in helping to move the county forward. I wish you all the best of luck. And Marita, I won't be here next Tuesday for your proclamation.
There is none. I'm
Okay.
sliding out the door.
Okay. Nonetheless, I would like to acknowledge that you are also retiring at the end of this term and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Don't go away. I have something that is just like, this is you all over. And you, like Gary had with Barbara, you have to open it and you have to read it.
I have to open it and read it. Okay. Well, it feels like a cup. Assessor, I'm not arguing. I'm just explaining why I'm right. Thank you. I know she wrote it.
Thank you, everyone. We're gonna move on to the public general comment. So this is any item of interest to the public that's within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board and is not posted on the consent or regular agendas may be addressed during the public comment period. California law prohibits the board from taking any action on any matter which is not posted on the agenda. If public comment is completed before the 30-minute allotted time period, the board may immediately move to the next order of business. If public comment is not completed during the allotted time period, it will continue as the last item of the business in order to provide an opportunity for the remainder of comment to be heard. So at this time, I will start with in the room public comment. Are there any comments in the room? Okay, and then just a reminder, be mindful of the light on the podium.
Good morning, Terry McBride, New California State Senator and Committee Chair. I have some papers for the board, please. New California State is a new state in development and is exercising its God-given rights as declared in the 1776 United States Declaration of Independence as ratified in the 1789 United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 3 and 4. New California is the making of a new state, just like 50 other states have been formed to make the Union of States called the United States. This is something we've been working on quite a long time. We're really close to the final goal. So we, the people of the state of New California, notice to all Californians declaration of constitutional default. The state of California is in both financial and Article 4, Section 4 constitutional default, does not have constitutional standing as a member state and Union of States called the United States of America. We, the people as citizens of the United States living in California, are following the process of West Virginia that successfully restored the Virginia state government after the Wheeling Conventions of 1861. Congress admitted California into the compact of statehood within the United States of America in 1850 because their 1849 Constitution ratified for consideration guaranteed a Republican form of government. California fails to provide, as required by law, an audited financial statement. California is the only state in the union which for the last 3 years has not provided an audited financial statement. Lack of proper financial oversight by the bumptious California legislature that, by allowing agency employment of persons who were knowingly and willfully engaging in high-risk assumptions to underfund pensions in the normal course of their employment, have now put at risk the financial default of the state teachers' retirement system and California public employees' retirement system. I think that affects everybody that works for this county, doesn't it? Something they need to be aware of. This fills it in quite well, what's going on. If you go to, again, you're more than welcome to join us in our meetings on Sundays and Wednesdays. Also, I would highly recommend everybody in here take a look at Roland J. Brunson's federal lawsuit. It's going up in front of SCOTUS. You know what he did? Brilliant. They called him out for not following their constitutional oath of office and allowing the election on the 2020 to go through instead of doing a proper investigation when an investigation was warranted. I think they're going to find them all guilty. What's that going to do to the lower people within the states and the counties that unfortunately did not always follow their constitutional oath, especially with the pandemic? Want to watch that because this is going to happen. So be aware of it. It's the Brunson federal lawsuit. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments in the room? Okay, not seeing any, we'll switch to Zoom. Are there any Zoom comments?
There are no Zoom comments.
Okay. With that, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is consent. Consent agenda items are expected to be routine and non-controversial. They will be acted upon by the board at one time without discussion. Any board member, staff member, or interested party may request removal of an item from consent for later discussion. So at this time, are there any board members that wishes to remove an item off of consent? Okay, seeing none, is there any? Oh,
I just quick one on number 12.
okay. So Supervisor Garamendi is requesting number 12 to be pulled. I see Robert walking up to the podium. Robert.
Good morning. I would like item number 14.
Okay, so we have 12 and 14. Are there any other staff or public members in the room that wishes to pull an item from consent? Not seeing any. Are there any Zoom?
There are not.
Okay. Next, is there any public comment on the items that are about to be approved? Not 12 and 14, but any other item for public comment? Okay, seeing none, and there's no public comment online. We'll move, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda item for all items minus 12 and 14?
So move, Madam Chair.
We got a motion, or is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Second by Supervisor Garamendi, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none. Okay, we're gonna start with a consent agenda item number 12, Supervisor Garamendi.
Thank you very much, and I'll be very brief. This is just more a reminder that I know we're going to be seeing the roadside spraying program coming forward this winter or spring, as we do annually. Last year, I asked that we investigate, and I totally value the program. I know why we do it, it's important. But I wanted to investigate if there are alternatives to glyphosates as we put it in our mix for the roadside spraying. And I just wanted to remind Public Works that I will be asking that question when it comes forward. Doesn't mean there's a good answer, but I would like you to look into it.
Yes, yes, sir.
That's all I had, Madam Chair.
Okay, with that, is there any public comment on consent item number 12? None? Okay, is there a motion to approve consent agenda item number 12?
So moved.
Is a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none. Okay, next we'll move on to consent agenda item number 14, and at this time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Packinger.
Good morning. On that item, the contract for Dewberry is for the design of the eastern portion of the Wagon Trail Realignment Project. Unfortunately, the copy that was submitted electronically within the board package is missing some pages that need to be included in the contract. I have copies of those pages here for you, and I believe the electronic copy has been updated. The the pages that are omitted consist of Caltrans documentation that needs to be included in the contract. And as long as we're speaking about the wagon trail, the pavement is complete. They're doing all sorts of finishing touches. There are guardrails, striping, dikes. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done. But at this point, I would like to invite the board members, the CAO and staff to come, county council to come and visit the site. Please let me know so that we can take you out to the site and look at it in peace without vehicles driving over that thing. And you have to be aware of the traffic at that time, but right now there's no traffic on it. We hope to have it open at the end of the year, but we'll see how we do with the weather permitting. They still have some work to do. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a couple board member questions, so I'll start with Gary. Gary?
Yes, in your recommendation on what you have here in a narrative, it says construction support. So are they retained for the entire construction of the phase 2?
Yes, they will have to be, because whenever there are questions regarding the design or maybe some additional changes that need to happen, we'll have to go to them.
Okay, and the project management portion of that construction, is that included in this contract?
Some of that is included there, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Jack?
Oh,
Your
no,
light's
ma'am.
on. Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Are there any other board questions or comments? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Are there any online?
There is not. No.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Appreciate the update. And just to clarify, so we don't have more than 3, we will contact staff directly and coordinate individual visit to the site.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. With that, is there a motion to approve consent agenda item number 14?
I move this item, Madam Chair.
Okay. Is there-
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, passes 5-0. Thank you, Robert. And now we're on for a regular agenda. We have agenda item number 17. And what I would like to do is read out the item and then give about a 3-minute to get set up, if that's possible. Okay.
Item number 17 is an action item from the administrative office. Number 1, adopt the proposed 3-year countywide strategic plan. And number 2, discuss the future of the strategic planning and financing committee and take possible action.
Okay, with that, we have Robert Bendorf here, and we're gonna give a couple minutes for him to set up, and then we will be back on. You good? Okay, I guess. Come on up, Robert. Good morning, good to see you.
Good morning. So I thought I would surprise you with my PowerPoint this morning,
Yeah, I think.
right? So Madam Chair, members of the board, Robert Bendorf with Municipal Resource Group. I won't say County Board of Supervisors because it's pretty obvious, right? It's a county board. I don't want Marita mad at me for last month. You know, I often tell my kids who are 34 and 30 these days, and I've been telling them for a while, when they say, geez, you know, we have, you know, our cousins and our aunts and uncles or moms and dads that we want to buy a birthday gift for, or we want to celebrate with them with their anniversary, and what do we buy them? And I always tell them, hey, whether you're considering something for someone else or you're considering something for yourself, it doesn't always have to be tangible. And I encourage them that sometimes the experience itself can be greater than a tangible item, much more memorable, much more meaningful. And I think you probably heard that last word from me several times over the course of the last year. So I have to tell you that the experience itself of being able to work with your board, your department heads, staff that assembled the working group, and other staff members throughout the organization was fantastic. And it was a great experience. And I hope that experience of going through the planning here, and you've heard me use this phrase too, I hope the juice was worth the squeeze at the end of the day. But having said that, you know, the journey started about a year ago or so, and your board authorized putting together a working group that was phenomenal, that was engaged the entire time. Your board formed a strategic planning committee. Supervisors Fallendorf and Garamendi participated on that with your auditor controller and your treasurer tax collector and your CAO. But there was so much input that was